Discover the ultimate luxury crossover boats at the Miami International Boat Show.
You've got the open deck space and center console attitude. Check out the integrated speakers right into the front lounge so the sound is up here where everyone actually hangs. Clean install, protected placement, and it turns the bow into a real Miami sandbar zone. Now, this is where the Concept 4400 turns into a real crossover. You've got an air-conditioned cabin with a sofa, a forward sleeper area, storage, plus an aft stateroom. And it's not just empty space, there's a galley with a fridge and microwave, and you've got over 6 feet of headroom down here, so you can actually hang out, island hop, and stay comfortable. Back here in the aft cockpit, they've got the summer kitchen setup, built-in grill, plus on a lot of these builds, you'll see a sink and refrigerator right next to it. This is the definition of a Miami sandbar boat: cook, chill, and never leave the water. Alright, up at the helm, the Concept 4400 is all business. Clean glass deck, usually dual big screens, and everything laid out for running hard. And when you've got quad 500R, you want that. Engine data, trim, and control right in your face. This boat's rated for up to 2,500 horsepower, so the helm is built around big power and big water. 4400 open deck is the definition of a Miami super console, quad 500R power, luxury everywhere, and built to entertain. New Mercury, 808 outboard, and this thing is straight up wild. Mercury's showing off the 808 concept, and it's basically a statement piece. Just look at it. The cowling says 808, and everyone at the show is stopping to get a closer look. It's giving Next Gen V 12 monster vibes, and if this ever hits production, it could change how big boats get powered. Fewer engines, more punch, cleaner rigs. The Yamaha Crosswave Wave Runner was named Boating Magazine's Boat of the Year, and the award was announced and presented at the Miami International Boat Show.
To get it in the garage.
Yep, that's the price. 32. It's 33K.
For you, my friend, sir.
Alright, check this out, the new Solas 37 Pilot. This is basically a center console that turns into a full pilot house. So you're protected when it's nasty out, but you can still open it up when it's perfect Miami weather. It's 37 feet, 7 inches long, 11 feet wide, and it's got a 512-gallon fuel tank. So this thing is built to run. And with up to 1,200 horsepower on the back, yeah, it's not just comfortable. It's fast. Would you rig this with triples or keep it clean with a lighter setup?
Salt life forever.
Check out the all-new Solas 35 CS. This is the sweet spot between the 32 and the 37. Solas added new aft seating and an opening helm bulkhead, so it's built to fish hard but still feel luxury at the sandbar. This one's about 35 feet with a nearly 11-foot beam, and most are rigged triple outboards, so you already know it moves. Would you run triple 300s or go bigger? Check this out. The new LED lighting built into the sunshade is such a clean upgrade. Up at the helm on the new 35 CS, they cleaned everything up. Big glass dash for dual screens, and what I love is the opening helm bulkhead, so it actually breathes back into the cockpit. And check this out. It even has a hydraulically opening windshield. Hit a switch and you get that airflow when it's hot, and seal it back up when the weather turns. On the new Solas 35 CS, the bow is set up as a convertible bow lounge with plush forward seating, and it also has a forward fish box that's sized to fit a 5-gallon bucket holder, so it's built for sandbar comfort plus real fishing utility. Down in the console, the 35 CS has a real cabin, 6 feet 7 inches headroom, a proper berth, and a separate head area. And some builds even have AC, so it's actually comfortable. This one is priced at $692,271, which basically puts it in that premium center console lane where you're paying for the build quality, the layout, and the rigging/electronics package. At that price, you're not just buying a hull, you're buying the whole experience. A clean modern helm, comfort all over the boat, and a setup that's meant to run offshore and look like $1 million at the sandbar. Check out the Solas 28H CS. But don't let the name fool you, this thing is 29.5 feet with a 9 feet 10 inches beam, so it feels way bigger in person. This one's rigged with twin Mercury V10, 400 racing, that's 800 horsepower on the back, which is literally the boat's max rating, so you already know it's gonna fly. Up at the helm, the 28H CS is super clean. Big glass dash for your screens, everything laid out simple, and the seating has bolsters so you can run it standing up when it gets sporty. With the twin 400 racing, you've got all your Mercury engine data right on the display, and if it's got joystick and autopilot, docking and running offshore gets stupid easy. This isn't a sleeper cabin. This is a private console cabin. You've got real headroom, a sink and vanity storage, plus that big window with a shade so it doesn't feel cramped. It's perfect for changing, bathroom breaks, and keeping gear dry. Huge upgrade for a 28 Solas. They integrated LED lighting right into the sunshade, so once it gets dark, you've got clean overhead light across the cockpit. It's functional for rigging and moving around, but it also gives it that Miami night look. $395,169 for the 28 HCS with twin 400 RS. Expensive? Yes, but this is the kind of setup that's built to run hard and look good doing it. Would you pay it or go bigger with less power? Alright, check this out. Grady-White just dropped a new model for 2026, the 321 Coastal Explorer. This is the biggest Coastal Explorer they've ever built, and it's basically that perfect hybrid. Offshore capable, but still laid out for family cruising and sandbar days. And since it's making its debut right here at Miami, you already know this is one of the boats everyone's stopping to see. Let's hear more from Christian.
Christian Caraway here, Grady-White boats aboard the all-new flagship of the Coastal Explorer series, our 321. So really neat series of crossover hybrid center consoles. They do the inshore fishing grounds really well. They do the sandbars really well. But now that we're up at 32 feet, this is also truly an offshore fishing capable vessel. So why don't we talk a little bit about how we do that. We're still going to have our CB2 hull designs, world renowned as being the safest, softest, most comfortable ride in the industry. But we start with a little bit less dead rise at the transit, about 16 degrees. Then we go through that same dead rise progression as we have with some of our other more offshore going vessels. So what does that do for us? We still get all the ride quality we expect from the CB2 hull with Grady-White, but now we can get into the shallower water. Only about 22 inches of draft with the engines turned up, which for a 32-foot boat with 10-foot 6-inch beam is really phenomenal. As I mentioned earlier, you can get into those skinnier waters if you want to do some inshore fishing, or as you see here, a couple of power poles, back right up to the sandbar, throw the poles down, have a little bit of fun. So notice another great feature for the sandbar, we have dual electrically actuated platforms on either side of the boat. That extends your entertainment space in the cockpit out another 3 feet per side. So now we're up to about 16 feet of space back here for everybody to have fun and enjoy themselves. There's a removable ladder that can be installed on either end of the platform for your boarding. If you are just doing the water sport and you don't want to fold the platforms on the side, we also have integrated platforms across the transom with another 4-set telescopic reboarding ladder. One more feature I really love to point out back here is we have a couple of boxes molded into the deck. Maybe you don't want the power poles, that's not your style. We have room for a dedicated stern anchor, an auxiliary anchor, or if you do have the power poles, their boxes are also insulated and overboard draining. It's a great place to put some drinks. You don't even have to climb back in the boat to get some refreshments from the sandbar. Transom seating, 4 across, with all of the cushions being very plush, very comfortable, but also removable. Again, if you are going to inshore fishing, take the port starboard backrest, flip those out of the way.
Both sides, right?
Both sides. Strip all the cushions off. This backrest in the middle is removable. Pull it out, leave it at the dock, or stow it down in the head. That gives you a couple more rod holders in the middle of this boat. You are, again, back at the sandbar. Let's leave the cushions up here. This backrest will actually flip the opposite direction. And now I've got a backrest where I can sit facing inboard, lounging. Under the shade, optional sure shade coming right out of the back of the teatop. A really comfortable place to relax, have some fun. Port and starboard corners both have standard live wells. If you're not using those for fresh bait fishing, and they're also insulated and overboard draining, so this is additional cold storage. On center line, really nice big dry storage compartment. And what's really neat about this is
That one insulated as well?
this one is not insulated, and I'll tell you why, because that's a great question. With the push of a button here on the port side, we actually can raise this entire storage box up, and that's going to give you access to the bin. So if you've got it down there to open, close the seatop for the live well, the roll on the wash down, do that with just the push of a button. You need to get down there and clean out one of your sea strainers, you get a little bit of seaweed or grass tucked in there. Super convenient, super easy, and again, this just raises and lowers electrically with the push of a button. Let's move our focus forward here to our lean bar. One of the things that really sets this boat apart is the 3-wide forward-facing helm chair configuration with a centerline helm station. So we have 3 people facing forward with the captain on centerline, all behind this beautiful windshield with a fully integrated glass that goes all the way up to the underside of the hardtop. And in addition to the 3 forward-facing seats, we also have an elevated aft-facing seat. Very comfortable for 2 people. Fold-down bolster, fold-down armrest, built-in cup holders, and additional rod holders. So with the flip bolster, you get the added benefit of an aft-facing leaning post. Very nice there. Of course, the fold-down footrest to go with the seat itself. Let's talk about what's inside the lean bar. Additional tackle boxes here on the aft side, but also an optional upgrade for a seat to driver stabilizer. If you choose not to go for that, you actually get some additional storage drawers and tackle boxes throughout here. One more trick for this area. Most people don't expect. If you're not using the seat, you need a little more countertop space, or maybe a lot more countertop space. Fold down counter. If you are fishing the boat, great place to rig the bait. Plenty of room to go to work. You have the sandbar at lunchtime. Let's set up the bunk belly, salad, your ship, drinks, or maybe it's time for the cocktail cruise. Some additional storage here. Let's pull out some cups. Let's pull out some bottles. Let's have a little bit of fun. But again, if you need the extra seating, all this goes away, and we're back to our elevated aft-facing seat.
Very cool design.
Moving forward along the sides here, we have dedicated storage for your low water washdown hose and that reboarding ladder that I mentioned earlier, which can go on either one of the folding platforms for the starboard. On the opposite side of the lean bar, we have dedicated storage for a 5-gallon bucket. I love that. You can still use it as a trash can. You can also put a casting in there, just your dock lines. You can hang orders. Lots of things for that. 5-gallon bucket on the opposite side. Just on the forward side of the lean bar here, we have a small storage compartment, which I love for emptying my pockets as soon as I get into the boat. All the things that I don't want to go splash, keys, wallet, sunglasses case, glasses case. You've got a great place to just empty your pockets as soon as you hop in there. Let's slide up to the bow. We'll circle back to the helmet in just a minute. First thing you're going to notice in the bow is this extremely comfortable and luxurious lounge on the front of the console. All the beautiful diamond quilted pleats, the contoured seat bottom, the lumbar, backrest roll, even headrest, armrest, cup holders, backrest, and incredible visibility on the front of the boat. Another thing I love about the CE series is the gunnels are not as high as some of the traditional, more offshore-oriented models. So when you're up here in the bow, the seams are a little higher, and you've got fantastic visibility right now when you're out on the boat ride down the waterway. On the forward of this lounge, as you can see here with the cushions in place, all from sunpad. But in addition to it being a sunpad, we have these electrically actuated backrests. You can fold them down flat, and they're just an extension of your casting platform. If all these cushions were to be removed, it all has diamond non-skid up here, just like you would have on the floor, with molded in steps that are integrated to help you get up and down from that casting deck. But with the cushions in place, maybe a couple more people want to lounge, and with just the push of a button, this lounge comes up out of the casting deck, and it's infinitely adjustable. If you just want it to come up a little bit, maybe you're using it as a pillow and you're laying down almost flat, or you can raise up about halfway and it's a lounge, or raise it up all the way and it becomes almost a forward-facing seat. So now
Does it have a bow table?
it does have a bow table as an optional upgrade. This boat has it. So on the base boat, you would still get this fiberglass insert or filler here, and the cushion on top. With the optional upgrade for the table, we can push a button on that side and actually raise the table right on up. And let's do that because it's a big table. The other thing I'll show you that's really unique is all the cushions up here are held up with disc magnets. There's no snaps on this boat. Snaps are a pain. Let's not deal with those.
Yeah.
So I'll show you how this table works. Again, this is an optional upgrade. But the electric pedestal raises that casting deck right up out of the middle. And this is big enough for easily 4 or 5 people to sit around and have some lunch. As the table's coming up, we can talk about storage. There's a lot of insulated motherboard draining storage up here. Also doubles as dry storage. It's all gutted and gasketed. On either side of the forward seating configuration, again with the cushions only being on with magnets, super easy to lift the cushions up, reach the latch, open it up. 108 quarts per side. And then under the lounge that we looked at earlier on the front of the console, same thing, cushions on with a magnet, couple magnets, reach the latch, Another 134 quarts here. So collectively between the three boxes, you've got 350 quarts of insulated and directly overboard granite storage. Another great feature up here, we have another set of those kind of smaller storage cubbies, so everybody can empty their pockets out of all these things that we know they're going to have with them that need to be stowed away. Even a great place to put an extra bottle of something screen or something along those lines. Let's take a step back and actually go inside the console. Extremely spacious, well-appointed head compartment. We have a vacuum flush head system. You see we have the fold-down shower grate made out of a solid piece of oak. And that works in conjunction with the pull-out sink faucet that you have a clip for or a hanger for at the top there. So if you think about leaving the sandbar in the afternoon, let's come down here, get a fresh shower, dry off, change your clothes, and we can head straight to the restaurant for dinner. That's a great question. I'll show you. I'm 6 feet tall. I can stand up no problem. So you're up to 6 foot of head clearance here, and very, very spacious, as I mentioned earlier, and lots of extra features. Really storage compartment up here, so if you don't want to see everything, if you are taking a shower or keep it dry, just close that door. Additional tackle box storage on the forward wall. Vertical rod storage, and then this big mirror vanity with additional vanity lights. So again, if we're coming down here to get cleaned up, make sure we're looking our best, and we're ready to go to the next fun thing of the day. Moving back to the helm station here, you'll see that we've blacked out the helm. We've added this upholstered dash brow, which wraps all the way across the top and down the sides. It really softens it up, gives it a more luxurious feel. But in addition to being beautiful, it really is practical. All of the black up here helps tremendously with glare reduction, including the blind that we put on top of the console. Another massive space, just great for throwing things down, where you know that they're safe, they're protected, out of the way, but also easily accessible when you need them.
Yes, great visibility.
Fantastic visibility, a big windshield, especially when you're driving from centerline, but even the passengers port and starboard, great visibility out the front. And as I mentioned earlier, you also get all the protection from that windshield for not just the people that are sitting in the 3 forward-facing seats, but also the 2 people sitting in the aft-facing seat. Of course, everybody, as you would expect, has fold-down footrests, fold-down armrests, split bolsters, and all the chairs are independently adjustable forward and aft. Dual 19-inch Garmin displays, which almost pull the dash up, but you can see really, really nice clean setup there. And then let's talk about controls. Yamaha 350 engine with all the sports maneuverability that Yamaha has standard features. That would include your joystick, your set point, your autopilot, and then as an optional upgrade, you can even add Yamaha's new wireless remote. So I can take control of the vessel and take it anywhere from the bow all the way back to the stern. Lastly, maybe we should talk about some performance with those twin 350s. This boat's going to run wide open throttle around 56 miles an hour. It's going to cruise comfortably right at 30 miles an hour at about 3,500 RPMs with a fuel economy of about 1.7 miles per gallon. So with 220 gallons of fuel on board, we're looking at a range of about 335 miles while still holding back to 10% reserve. So that's a really, really quick look at this brand new model, the 321.
32.
Yeah, 32 feet. We're actually at 31 feet 7 inches length overall. That doesn't include the integrated platform that pushes off the back, which actually gets you a little bit closer to 33 feet. Again, 10 foot 6 inch beam. It's a wide boat. It's going to be a very, very comfortable ride. And again, shallow water ready, 22 inches of draft, offshore capable with that CV2 hold time that everybody knows and loves. And so it's just kind of the best of both worlds.
The MSRP.
Yeah, MSRP, I think we have the base boat at $467 for this show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it's a pleasure.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, this is the all-new Scout 288 Dorado.
Nice boat.
Fish hard and still be a sandbar family boat. It's 28 feet 9 inches long, 9 feet 9 inches wide, with 188 gallons of fuel and rated for up to 600 horsepower. So it's got the size and power to run. This one's rigged right with twin Mercury 300s. That's the full 600 horsepower rating on this boat, so it's got the punch to run offshore, cruise smooth, and still be a perfect sandbar setup. Dual console comfort, tons of seating, and when you want to fish, big cockpit, bait well, and fish box is ready to go. Up at the helm, Scout kept it super clean and premium. Frameless windshield with a wiper and fresh water wash, a sporty 13-inch stainless wheel with a power knob, and a Garmin display running your charts, sonar, and engine data. Then you got digital switching, power steering with the twin 300s, and zip wake trim, so it drives smooth and stays level. Down here, you got a private head with a locking door, a real electric toilet, and a sink/vanity. Huge upgrade when you got family or guests on board. And up front, the bow is pure comfort. Wraparound seating so everyone can chill while you're cruising, and it converts into a lounge setup for those long Miami sandbar days. And that's the all-new Scout 288 Dorado. Twin Mercury 300s, luxury dual console comfort, and still ready to fish when you want it. This one's sitting at a Miami boat show, price of $397,529. So be honest, worth it, or would you spend that money on something bigger? That wraps up part 1 of the Miami International Boat Show. We checked out some of the cleanest new builds, crazy features, and price tags that'll make you blink. Part 2 is coming next, and it's even better. So make sure you subscribe and drop a comment. Which boat was your favorite so far?
Discover your perfect boat and redefine your nautical adventures today.